Hey, what's going on, everyone? Servant R.D. Ramont, Kohaya, Kingdom of Heaven is at hand. I'm here with another video, and this one is entitled Phillip's Dilemma, or Phillip's Situation. And the text going to be taken out of John 14:9. It's an event that happened after the 14:6 when Yahshua said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, which should mean everything to us as children of the light. But before we get into that, I want to ask a question. Hasn't Yah proven himself to be our sovereign one? And when I say sovereign one, I'm talking about the chief provider, the unlimited and unbridled force that is needed for us to thrive. When I say sovereign, I'm saying the absolute power that has given provisions for us to survive, and not only survive, but to thrive. Hasn't Yah proven himself to be our sovereign in all things? Hasn't he been proficient and supplied everything that we needed from our inception? Think about it. We have endured everything that the world had to offer. Not only the world, which is this reality that we're in down here on earth, but everything that the heavens had to offer. When we read in the book of Job, we see that Job, before he went through and before he was tried and tested, we see an interaction between the evil one and the Most High. We read about a conversation when the evil one spoke to the Most High and said, I'm going to and fro in the earth and walking up and down in it. This was before Job had even started experiencing the adversity and hardship that he went through. So that is a symbolism and a figuration of us as the covenant people. When we look at our plight down through the annals of time, we see that everything been thrown at us. They tried it all. All nations have come into confederation against us, and we endured it all. This should be extremely encouraging for all of us. And when we look at that testimony, it's actually a testimony of the Most High Yah and how he interacted and how he's been involved in every step of our journey in this reality. And so I once again ask this question. Has Yah proven himself to be sovereign in our lives? We should have learned our lesson. All of the events that's happening today, they are nothing but examples. And they're nothing but assessments, activities and assessments that the Most High is allowing for us to be refined and for us to look to him and see, wait a minute, we've been here before. Maybe I haven't personally, but I've been here in spirit, in the spirit of my people, my ancestors, of the cloud of witnesses that Paul wrote about in Hebrews when he said, wherefore, seeing we are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight. We have a cloud of witnesses. And when we talk about this cloud, we are all in it together. And so when we look at what we've gone through as a people, we should be fully persuaded, without any reservations and without any doubt, that the Most High would take us through. I don't care what it is. I've said it many a times. I've said it many times before, that death will come to us all. Some sooner than later. But in the end, we all must pass through the threshold of death into eternity. So some, it may come early. Some, it may come later in life. But one thing we should be certain of, and one thing that we should have assurance in, that no matter what comes or what goes, the Most High is with us. He promised us in Matthew, lo, I will be with you to the end of the earth, or to the end of the age. He promised us in Leviticus, he said that he was with the children of Israel. And we know that Malachi proclaimed that he's the same yesterday, today, and forever. So we must understand, through all dilemmas and adversities that comes our way, we must ask ourselves, haven't Yah proven himself to be our sovereign one in all things up to this point? Why would he leave us now? You remember James Cleveland when he said, I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. And he went on to say, I don't feel no ways tired. So it's time, high time, paramount time to stand and be stationary in what we already know as a people. Because humanity is in a desperate state today. Humanity is being challenged in every facet, including the presidential arena, the Congress, men and women. We see the leaders of this country fighting against one another. You see the leaders of nations going at it in the Oval Office. Trump going at it with Zelensky, or however you pronounce his name. But when I look over social media, I see people talking about, oh, I'm so ashamed of my country. I look over YouTube and I see preachers preaching against Trump, just throwing themselves in the situation that we need not to be a part of. When I say he, the Most High has proven himself to us. The Most High has, like when you play music, can you imagine how confusing music would be if there were no rests in the notations? Can you imagine how confusing and chaotic the instrumentalist would sound playing from a music sheet or fake book with no rests in the notations? Just a continuation, even the course of life itself, rests is provided. And so what the Most High has done, he has given us rest. He allowed us to just lay back and observe. But yet, we want to throw ourselves. I saw a post on Facebook where a young man put up Black History Month and black folks celebrating Black History Month at the White House. And before President Trump was inaugurated, we heard the rumors that Trump was going to get rid of Black History Month. And everybody was fretting over that. Everybody was complaining over that. Well, I shouldn't say everybody. A significant amount of people were complaining over that. Only to find out that he welcomed some people in. Now they turning around and calling them all kinds of names for going to the White House. Now, what I'm saying is, it's like we are looking for oppression when the Most High has allowed a time for us to observe and time for us to study the situations that are occurring. But what we are doing, many of us, we want to jump into adversity. We looking for it. We need to be a part of it because we have gotten used to being oppressed and targeted to the point where there is somewhat of a rest, a pause, and it's almost like we can't take it. We looking for something. We looking for a bad event to occur instead of looking to the Most High. So I took a long time with this introduction, but I want to talk about Phillip. Because Phillip, he had a dilemma. When you look at the word Phillip, the name Phillip means fond of horses. When you look at a horse represents power. It represents strength. Horses in warfare. Even when they made vehicles back in the day, they used to say it has so many horsepower. Horse also does give you the connotation of endurance. Now, when you look at Jeremiah, the 12th chapter and the 5th verse, Jeremiah asked the children of Israel a question. He say, if you can't run with the footmen, how in the world are you going to be able to keep up with the horsemen? The footmen have wearied thee. So what was Jeremiah saying? He was telling them, if you are not able to keep up with the most basic things in life, how in the world will you be able to endure the most difficult and challenging things in life? And this is something that we need to ask ourselves, because like I said last week, there has been too much fretting, too much dissension, people hitting the panic button and bewailing about the circumstances, looking for unpleasant situations to occur. We are the leaders in the earth, us Hebrew Israelites. I'm here to encourage you to stand on business, stand on the promises. The business is the promises of the Most High. John, the 14th chapter, let me get to it. And let us start at the 7th verse. But you know what? We might as well go to the 6th. And it says, you know what? I go to the first verse. It says, let not your heart be troubled. You believe in Yah, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you to myself, that where I am, there you may be also. And where I go, you know, and the way you know. Thomas said to him, Master, we do not know where you are going, and how can we know the way? Yahshua said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. If you had known me, you would have known my Father also. And from now on, you know him and have seen him. Then Philip said to him, Master, show us the Father, and it is sufficient for us. And Joshua said to him, this is the crux of my message. Verse 9, and Joshua said to him, have I not been with you so long, and yet you have not known me, Philip? He who has seen me has seen the Father. So how can you say, show us the Father? Do you not believe I am in the Father and the Father in me? The words that I speak to you, I do not speak of my own authority, but the Father who dwells in me does the works. Believe me that I am in the Father and the Father in me, or else believe me for the sake of the works themselves. And see, let me read verse 12. Let me go ahead. I'll stop at verse 14. Most assuredly, I say to you, he who believes me, the works that I do, he will do also. And greater works than these will he do, because I go to my Father. And whatever you ask in my name, that I will do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If you ask anything in my name, I will do it. And see, when you go back up to verse 9, this is powerful. Philip, he had a dilemma. Philip couldn't see that Joshua was the fulfillment of prophecy. In the book of Deuteronomy, the Most High said, I will send your brother in that day, and he will show you the way. That brother was prophesied in the book of Isaiah, which said, for unto us a son was born, unto us a child is given, and the government shall be on his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty Yah, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. So these were foretold truths that were spoken by the prophets, and they were spoken for the covenant people to have hope. And so here you have Philip in a dilemma. Philip needed to see more proof. That's why he said, show us the Father. Even though Philip needed to see more proof, he had already seen enough, because this event denotes the Passover when they were in the upper room. So Joshua was about to be offered as a sacrifice. And so look at all the things that Joshua did up to that point. And Philip said, show us the Father. Because he was leaning to his own understanding, and he could not see that Joshua represented Yah's solution to his covenant people. See, the prophecy said, I will send your brother. And Isaiah, he prophesied about the Messiah numerous of times, talking about how Israel would be redeemed. The covenant people will be redeemed. But Philip's dilemma, he still was looking for some type of tangible through his own perception. He could not understand what Joshua, what he represented at the time. It's the same today. Although we have witnessed the power of the Most High, just like Philip, we witness him time and time again moving on our behalf. But when we see things that occur in the earth, we rant and rave like we are heathens, like we haven't experienced the power of the Most High working on our behalf. When Joshua told Phillip, "Have I been with you so long, and yet ye have not known me?" That's what the Most High is saying to us. Haven't I been with you so long? I've been with you down through the years. I have walked with you. I have supported you. I have sponsored you. Yes, you were enslaved. Yes, you went through Jim Crow. Many of you were brutally murdered. Many of you were brutally maimed. Many of you suffered many atrocities. But understand, I've been with you. I have caused you to catch up with your enemy at alarming rates. Almost overnight, we've caught up with them, and they doing everything in their power to keep us, to prevent us, to hinder us from rising above. Well, not even above. They're doing everything to keep us from getting close to where they are. They got to use their power to kill, steal, and destroy to keep themselves afloat, because they know if we continue to persevere, that we would rise above where they are and become their rulers. That is what they fear. So they allow events to occur. All these occurrences, they allow them to commence so that we can be sidetracked and start looking at the situation instead of looking at who we are and what the Most High has done for us. You can tell and you can make a determination of individuals that don't know the Father. Joshua said, "Have I been with you so long, and yet you don't know me?" You can tell those that don't know the Most High. Because to know the Most High, you will be certain that there is already a solution when the adversity occurs. To know the Most High, you will know that He has already provided a verdict. The conclusion, the benediction has already been sealed. And the events that are current, think of it as a train on the train tracks when you sitting in your car waiting to cross the road. As you wait with the barricades and the railroad going, sometimes at tremendous speed, sometimes it slow down, and sometimes it speed up. But eventually the caboose, you see the caboose, you know that's the end of that locomotive. That locomotive is like the occurrences that's in our world today. They just passing by, but you know, as you sit in your car, you know that train will pass and move on, because they are that train, and the engineers in that train, they got a schedule to keep to. Now, sometime that train, it stops and you have to wait. Sometime it be rolling fast and then it slow down. But eventually, you know, through experience, that train will end. You know that you will see that caboose come across the road on the rail system. That caboose represents the verdict of Yah. That caboose is an indicator that everything has been settled. All circumstances have already been figured out by the Most High. The Most High just allowing us to play the role in proving to His whole creation that He is sovereign through this lumps of dirt that's operating in the earth. It's time for us to know that. So when you look at it through that perspective, why are you fretting over Trump? Why are you fretting over the circumstances of these deportations of illegal immigrants? You have people very upset talking about we're next. Like we just looking for some sort of oppression to come our way. And I understand we've been oppressed for so long. That's all many of us know, because we are like Phillip. Philip's dilemma is most of our dilemma. We cannot settle in our mind and trust the Most High. So Philip, he said, well, show us the Father, and it's sufficient for us. That would be sufficient. Yahshua, if you show us the Father, that would be sufficient. Yahshua, man, oh my goodness. Look at all the stuff from the time we were in Cana in Galilee. You saw the water being turned to wine. I even used you, Philip, to feed 5,000. You were in Bethsaida, beautiful place. I've been to Bethsaida when I was in Israel. Beautiful. The Sea of Galilee is beautiful. Philip, he was there on the Sea of Galilee when it was raging. Because the Sea of Galilee is known for storms just to spring up at a moment's notice. And Philip was there. And so Yahshua said, look, man, you've been with me every step of the way. Haven't I been with you long enough for you to understand? And I'm asking you the same question, brother and sister. Haven't the Most High been with us long enough for us to understand the pattern? We should know the pattern by now. See, Yahshua, he said, he who has seen me has seen the Father. Look at that word, seen. When you look at the Hebraic form of that word, it doesn't just mean to view, to look, or to notice, or to observe. Just turning your head, observing something, or looking, or beholding. You know, that the word behold is all throughout Scripture. But it just doesn't mean to look or to view on something. It goes deeper than just looking. And this is what we as a nation, many of us have been doing for the longest time. We just been looking at the situation, viewing. We notice, but there hasn't been an internal connection to the events. Don't you know the events are nothing but Yah's proof that there is a solution that's coming down the pike, no matter what it is. People been here 60 and 70 years still fretting over stuff that's going on in the world. Haven't we lived long enough to know that the Most High has been with us? I'm trying to get my brothers and sisters to understand how important it is for us to go beyond just viewing, just beholding. When Yahshua said, he who have seen me has seen the Father. So when you get this word seen, it goes beyond just noticing something, but it taps into your innermost being, down in the recesses of your humanity and your soul and your spirit. Yahshua is the Word. The scripture call him the Word of Yah. And when we read in Hebrews 4 and 12, it say, for the word of Yah is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and is a discerner of thoughts and intent of the heart. It even got marrow in there. the joints and the marrow, down into the inside of your bone. So when Joshua said, he who have seen, he's talking about an understanding that goes beyond all of the events that are occurring before your eyes. These events are nothing but information that is being transmitted to your inner soul, to your inner psyche, to your inner spirit, so that you can understand and comprehend. This word seen, it talks about comprehension. When you grasp the reason that the Most High is allowing these situations to occur. Once you grasp, it means you seize upon the meaning thereof, upon the essence thereof, upon the reasoning and the core of why it's occurring. Because the Most High does not allow things to occur in the earth without a reason. There is a reason that these events are occurring. They are occurring so that we can possess the nuances of why Yah is allowing it. See, when you read in Revelation where he said that when John recorded that no one in the heavens, on the earth, or beneath the earth, that's very important. Everything that's happening is happening because Yah is divinely ordering and divinely wroughting out his creation into one unique web of perfection. It's his tapestry, a fine, divine tapestry that the Most High is weaving together. And we need to understand, when Yahshua said, when you have seen me, you have seen the Father, because I come for the purpose that the Father has designed in this time. I come to men, not just the situation, but I come to mend you because you are playing a role in this divine tapestry. Understand what is going on, brothers and sisters. If you would grasp of what I am saying, you will be strengthened, I guarantee you, and you will see this whole space of reality that we are in a totally different light. It's no time for fretting. All fretting does is show that there is no assurity in an individual's life. They are novice, even though they may be 70 years old or even 80. You are novice when it comes to this walk with the Most High. You have no backbone. You have no courage. You have no stability. You have no boldness or tenacity. You're weak. And it's time to be strengthened. This is why Yahshua said, strengthen the things that remain. These events will cause us to grapple. The grappling with these events are discovered in all the things that they've done to us. The civil rights movement, all the way up to the day, even in the 2010s with all the shootings, all the way up to 2020. And all the other things that they've done. All of the lynchings, all of the Devil's Punch Bowl, all this stuff is coming to light where the Union soldiers just threw Hebrew Israelites down in this big valley with no water, with no food, and a lot of them starved to death. We've been through a lot. They just don't want to tell it. They tried to bury it, but it cannot be buried because the Most High is weaving his creation into order. Can't you see what's going on, man? The difficulty and the hardships that we endure is the Most High way of getting us involved, that we may grapple and contend. So through those contentions, something is developed on the inside, and it embraces us. This is why Paul said, I want to apprehend that has apprehended me. Powerful statement. Now, does that make sense? So, Philip's dilemma. He wanted an answer that was tangible, that he could see. What he didn't realize, all that he witnessed was sufficient. It was already sufficient. He telling Joshua, show us the Father, and it is sufficient for us. Joshua saying, come on, man, I've been with you all this time. Why would you make a blanket statement like that? I've already shown you. It's the same today, brothers and sisters. The Most High has given us strength, has given us power. He threw us a lifeline long ago. There's no need to hit the panic button. There's no need to be all discontented. Stop it. Leave your understanding out of it. That's what's wrong. People trying to lean to their own understanding. And Proverbs already told us to trust in Yah with all our hearts and lean not to our own understanding. Joshua told him, been with you. And so all of you who are scared stiff, I talked to several people and they were so afraid of police immunities. They were just, woo. They were scared stiff. They were petrified, overly anxious and worried. And the Most High already told us, don't even worry about all those things. Your Father take care of the lilies in the field. He would take care of you. Why? Because the proof is all around. The proof is in your brother and sister. The proof is how these Gentiles go beyond and above that which is necessary to keep us at bay. And they losing. So Joshua said, Philip, take a look at all the things that we have endured. Look at it. It's hidden in plain sight. So I ask you the question. All of us have had Philip's dilemma at one time or another. But I ask the question once again. Hasn't Yah proven himself to be our solving one in all things up to this point? Has he been proficient in everything that we have endured up to this point? Allow what we have witnessed to go deep into the soul of who we are, so that we can truly say to one another, I have seen Yahshua, I have seen the Father, and greater works we have already done, because we are still here. You know, they tried to do, something just came to my mind. They tried to hinder our progress with Christianity. Many of us have gotten over that. We know the power that the Most High has reserved for us. And believe you me, your enemies know too, and they do not want you to achieve it. But Philip's dilemma, it was solved. And Philip went on to understand the power that the Most High had vested in him. The same with you and me. Philip's dilemma is solved, and so is yours, Hebrew. Believe the Most High and seize upon the things that he has already done for you thus far. And watch how the power of the Almighty will manifest and change this world and turn it upside down. I'm your brother, Servant R.D. Romant. Shalom.